All right, so there's a lot of beef in the martial arts community, which does make sense. What does Michael Jai White, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Chuck Norris all have in common? Beef with Steven Seagal. Or it's Steven Seagal that's got beef with them for some reason. So I want to jump into this. I actually got my own personal story about Steven Seagal, which I'm going to tell you in a minute. Check this out. We're going to pop into this quick video, check it out, and then I'll come back to kind of explain my story.
Since you've been here last for Hard to Kill, we've had a lot of action-adventure stars popping out of the woodwork. Do you go watch the other guys? What do you think of Jeff Speakman or Van Damme? Do you know Van Damme?
No.
You've heard of him? Okay. Let's start with him, Steven. What do you think of his work? As a martial artist first.
Can we change the subject?
Well, I mean, because, like, you guys go back to the martial arts world before you were movie stars, right? I mean, he was like a champion somewhere, and, right? I mean, you...
Well, I mean, I just promised all my mentors that I was going to be a good boy. Mm-hmm. I think that that's a matter of opinion, that he was a champion anywhere. You know? And I mean, I'm not being catty or anything. I wish the guy all the best. But there are an awful lot of people who say that that's not true.
Who's the most legitimate Hollywood tough guy, in your opinion? You accept it, of course.
When you say tough guy, do you mean martial artist or just tough guy?
I mean, Stephen, for real. If he was on the street and there was a situation, you wanted this Hollywood guy by your side because he could defend himself. It's that hard to think of a legit one?
Can you think of one?
Michael Jai White.
Can I laugh in your face?
Really?
Yes.
Thoughts on Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Can I laugh in your face?
Chuck Norris?
I mean, Chuck is in his mid-70s. He's probably 76 years old, okay? 75, 76 years old.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I've heard that he's not, So, I mean, I don't really want to get into, on film anyway, who's a tough guy. Do I think Michael is a tough guy? No. Do I think he's a martial artist? No. Do I think Jean-Claude's a tough guy or a martial artist? No.
All right, so what's your thoughts? Drop down below. He doesn't seem too kind to those guys. Let's take a look at a couple more to see what Jean-Claude Van Damme and Michael Jai White has to say.
Expendables 2, it's got the kind of almost every amazing kind of action star out there.
Right.
Are there any guys, for example, Steven Seagal, maybe Kurt Russell, who you'd love to see in part 3?
I would love to see a Steven Seagal in part 3. He should lose some weight. So no, joke on the side.
Yeah.
So he can be a little more fast.
He's put on the pounds.
Yeah. I met the guy a few times. He's a nice guy. Doesn't like me much.
I
like him a lot. Good guy. Good charisma. He's got something special on the screen. I would love to see him there. Yeah.
Why doesn't he like you?
Because maybe I'm good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Steven Seagal hits the shit out of people. That's a unique situation.
Okay. So you did how many Steven Seagal movies?
Like 3?
3.
3 projects with Steven Seagal. One soup commercial for Nissan and 2 movies.
A cup of noodles, Nissan?
Yeah, for Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in those films you did with Steven Seagal, he was actually hitting the stuntmen for
hell
real?
Yeah. He's known for that.
He's known for that.
Hell yeah.
So how would the stuntmen react after getting punched by Steven Seagal?
Ouch. They try to they try to deal with it because they're stuntmen. And so there's a certain ethic where you try to grin and bear it. And so, one of the movies I did with him, Steven Seagal was the director of On Deadly Ground, and he was laying into people. So, what are you going to do? You're going to complain to the director that the director's hitting you? And so so there's a certain line where people go, okay, that's my badge of honor. I'm tough. I can take it. But he cracks people. and Tony Jaa cracks people, but they line up for it. So he like, but Tony Jaa is amazing. He does that because that's an agreement between he and the other person. But Tony Jaa can do a flip and slap you with his foot like this and control it. You know what I mean? So there's some people who don't mind getting hit because it's realistic, and there's stunt guys that go, yeah, really hit me. I want it to look good. So these are the parameters, right? So Steven Seagal hits the shit out of people. Some people go along with it, some people don't. But he cracks people.
Okay, and they all took it pretty much. No one ever got angry.
Yeah, people got angry. Hell
okay,
yeah.
so you saw someone get angry at Steven Seagal.
Yeah. A lot of times.
Did anyone ever punch him back?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, I did a fight scene with him. There was no problem whatsoever.
Okay, so you did a fight scene with him. Did he punch you for real?
No.
So he knew who to punch.
Well, I mean,
All right, so you guys decide. I mean, Van Damme and Michael Jai White didn't seem to trash him. So, I don't know. So for my story, now this is coming from another party, and I'm going by what they said. This is not my personal interaction with Steven Seagal. Maybe one day I'll have one and it'll be different. This was an interaction from a friend of mine that worked on a movie. So they're in the movie at the premiere, and it's a packed house. Everybody's just eating popcorn, enjoying the movie, and then all of a sudden, Steven Seagal gets killed in the movie. Nobody got sad. Everybody started clapping in the theater. All you see is people clapping, excited about the guy being dead in fake life. So you can only imagine maybe what they thought in real life. In my opinion, I think it's funny. I think Steven Seagal is putting on a little bit of a show, and I think as an entertainer, it is your job to put on a little bit of a show. You're a showman, so he's a showman. He's got charisma on screen. I've never been a big fan of Steven Seagal per se. Like, I've never been one to enjoy his movies. I think I've seen maybe a couple when I was younger, but he never resonated with me. I was more of a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, or even Michael Jai White when he actually played Mike Tyson. I think that was the first movie I ever seen Michael Jai White play. So, all right, so if you guys actually want to see me in action and not sitting at a desk talking, click right here. If you want to watch another clip, click right here. Make sure you subscribe. And if you just want to watch a movie or two or a TV show, click over here.